Okay, so after clicking on this video, your first thought is probably, am I on drugs? Is there something wrong with me mentally? Luckily, I can say no, at least for this video. But I could not stop laughing when I was listening to this because a man gets kidnapped by dolphins and he gets dragged underwater. I don't even know what to start thinking. Like, it's also said that he was communicating with the dolphins. In the lady in the video, she'll say that's illegal, but not why it's illegal. She'll say something along the lines of because they know too much or something. Man, I can't wrap my hand around it. First of all, how would this guy even start communicating with the dolphins? And the way it was described was that he was kidnapped. If I remember correctly, at least, it didn't really go into detail of how he was kidnapped, but
Florida man claims to have been kidnapped by dolphins and forced to build an underwater city. Let's talk about it. So, Lee County Sheriff Department reported early one Monday morning of a man soaking wet on the shoulder of the beach, drawing blueprints in the sand. He was severely dehydrated and very disoriented. And what he told these deputies was he was taken against his will by a pod of dolphins and forced to work underwater with them and build these cities. So basically, this big underwater construction project. And the man claimed that the dolphins approached him while he was swimming on the beach one day, and they escorted him to a site that was 40 feet below the surface.
after doing a quick search on the big Google, I found out 40 feet in the ocean is double the pressure on the surface. It's how he even, I mean, it's not lethal to you, but your ears are going to be ringing the whole time and your vision's blurry, you're underwater. She said the dolphin would only provide air. How he would deal with all the other natural circumstances, beyond me. Maybe the dolphin spat out like an air bubble that's just indestructible. It could be happening.
Where they needed help building structures. And what I find interesting is that he told the deputies that basically the dolphins communicated him through a series of clicks. Now, y'all know it is actually very illegal to communicate with dolphins. It is said that dolphins hold secrets, of ancient secrets, and there is a way that you can, communicate with dolphins. Dolphins are very highly intelligent animals.
Who is saying they have these secrets? Because this is the first time I'm hearing of any of this. And when looking into why communicating with dolphins is illegal, it's because it's considered harassment. Like, imagine a group of people. Imagine you're in the dolphin shoes for a second, all right? You're in like some aquarium. A group of people just walk over to your house and they start just clicking their tongue. Like, they're trying to communicate with you. And yeah, dolphins are pretty smart, but compared to a human, they're usually considered like around to a 3 to 5 year old if you're just using age. So they're not smart enough to build cities underground.
He basically said that the leader, like that was orchestrating this whole project, name was Gerald, and that Gerald is what helped him breathe underwater. He said Gerald handled the breathing for him, which I'm assuming with like some type of air pocket or air bubble. But like I mentioned before, he had drawn an elaborate blueprint in the sand when he had returned to surface. And the deputies described the blueprints to be a little concerning. It looked like cities, towns, condos. And the man basically said the Dolphins were satisfied with his work, his 3 day work of underwater construction. So they sent him back and they'll be like, we'll be back to get you for phase two.
Phase two, there's gonna be a second phase, and this guy is he gonna like go back to swimming and he's gonna get kidnapped willingly, or is he gonna try to run away and Gerald's just gonna go after him? Cause man, you have me locked in this story. I'm interested. I how I don't know. Maybe they already have like a plan B in case anything goes wrong with him, because he's just the aerospace guy. He's not the real architect. Maybe they had him teaching other dolphins or something, establish a dolphin school. So anything could happen.
Because they're not done there. And the crazy thing is, they sent him to the hospital and he was just dehydrated, but there was no trauma to the head. There was no signs that he was, delirium or anything. Like, there was nothing going on with his mental. Like, he was perfectly fine. But the weirdest thing of all is, they did several tests on him, of course. So they found seawater and marine particles in his lungs, which puzzled the doctors because that suggested that he had extended exposure to seawater without typical lung damage. So What they found was basically information that let him know that he was very deep in the water and he didn't have any type of lung damage. And like I said, he said he was down there for 3 days. And another crazy thing about this whole thing is this man has a master's in aerospace engineering and he has previously worked on deep sea technology projects. So it was like the Dolphins knew that this man was a very experienced engineer that has worked in the deep sea. I don't care what y'all say. Some people trying to say it's a hoax, it's all made up. But it's literally facts that there was so much stuff in his lungs that showed that he was underwater for a long period of time with no lung damage. But this whole thing is so interesting. Everybody knows that dolphins are in cahoots with the sirens and the mermaids.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. I did not know that. Sirens and mermaids? I'm getting some kind of deep sea lore. So, I, I'm finding out a lot of new things today. Also, for the part about the seawater in the lungs, that can happen when you're literally just drowning. So, maybe that's what happened. Imagine he was just like drunk. Well, they said there's nothing wrong with him. So maybe he was maybe he just went out to sea, drowned, and he felt came back to shore a few days later. He didn't like show up with his friends or anything because he'd be embarrassed. So he just made up some deep sea lore. Well, I don't know how he would just show up magically 3 days later. Maybe he showed up immediately, just camped out later, thought of a plan to make up less embarrassing. I don't really know.
I feel like they're trying to build some type of underwater kingdom for them. But this is crazy, y'all. Let me know what y'all think in the comments and if y'all heard about this. Florida
Man, you
man.
gotta give her props. You give her a like for that. You know what? I'm changing my stance. I forgot that this is a Florida man, and they're capable of anything. This guy probably had some kind of awakening, just started communicating with the dolphins, and hey, it could be possible. He is a Florida man, so that's that's all I'm saying.